The kitchen is super messy this morning. Still beautiful, but messy.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain. Beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now, there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy we go.
It's a Saturday here at our mountain homestead, friends. We are full swing into our homeschool schedule, and we spend every day from around 8:30 to about 3 o'clock homeschooling. This means all of the extra stuff that needs to be done around the home gets done on Saturday and Sunday. Recently, we started doing home church here at our homestead, and we do this on a Friday evening, so we spend Fridays just doing a lot of house cleaning. Last night was home church since it was Friday. The kitchen is a disaster this morning. I rallied the troops, called all the kids in. We all tackled it, got the kitchen cleaned in about 10 minutes. I don't know what I would do without my oldest daughter. She is my wing woman. She can get this kitchen whipped back into shape in record amount of time. My oldest son decided for breakfast that he wants to use up some of these gorgeous farm fresh eggs that we have and make some eggs Benedict. I've been teaching him how to make eggs Benedict for probably about 5 or 6 years now. I was really happy this morning when he decided on his own that he wanted to make a batch of eggs Benedict for the family. Eggs Benedict is my favorite breakfast. We had our first snowstorm yesterday and it was absolutely beautiful. There were over 6 inches of snow on the ground. You guys, look at this. It was so beautiful. I have been looking forward to our first snow day since we moved in. I knew it was going to be absolutely gorgeous, but it actually exceeded my expectations when we finally got that first snow day. Crazy thing though, overnight we had wind, rain, and it was a downpour. And so we woke up the next morning and most of the snow is gone. It is an absolutely beautiful sunny day, and I'm going to be spending some time in the kitchen today. I want to share some things that I have found to do with farm fresh eggs. I'm going to share my 2 favorite recipe ideas. The first one is, of course, the eggs Benedict. I won't share that recipe because I think everybody pretty much knows that one. The other recipe is homemade pasta with carbonara sauce. I will close out the video with that recipe, but for right now, let's get my kitchen into some shape. My kitchen is so badly organized right now. We're still trying to get used to our new home, our new kitchen, and this kitchen has been under remodel since we moved in pretty much. Every time a kid helps me put the kitchen together or clean out the dishwasher, things get put in a new place every time. I am going to be over the next couple weeks putting this kitchen in the order that it is hopefully going to stay in. Today I'm tackling this corner. I found some awesome things at the thrift store this week. I found these lovely little canisters and they completely tie in with my style. I've got this canister up here that I got from Mary and Martha. I got this years ago though. These canisters really go with my kitchen. And so on the back of these ones, I'm going to write gluten-free because these 2 flour canisters are going to be for rice flour and gluten-free flour. The one up here that I have on my shelf from Mary and Martha is actually just all-purpose flour. I still don't have countertops. We're still waiting on them. When we ordered our countertops, I told my husband that we would be lucky to have them in by Thanksgiving. That's how slowly places seem to be moving anymore, and it's frustrating because we've been waiting a very long time for countertops. Right now I have kind of a hodgepodge situation going on. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I talked about that a little bit. I am used to this because because when we lived in the Midwest, this is kind of what we had the entire time, which was a very long time, over 12 years. And of course, in town, we had a very small kitchen. So even though the kitchen counters are hodgepodge at this time and missing in places, it's still better than the kitchen I had before because it is so much bigger. Today though, I am going to get this one cabinet completely reorganized. It's just not been working out. I've been using these glass gallon jars for many years, but I'm noticing how in this cabinet they do kind of take up a lot of space and waste space. So I purchased these rectangle square shaped containers off of Amazon. I found these after looking for quite some time for just the right size. These are the perfect size. They will fit in here and they won't waste a ton of space. I like how I will be able to kind of stack them together like this. Well, I'm gonna take a brief break from this video and show you guys this game I found. We have really long winters in the north where we live. We have a few other board games, but we do not have very many board games, and I really wanted to get some more fun board games for our family since the winters are so long where we live. So this week I splurged. I bought 4 different word teasers. I have these 3, another one's coming on Monday. We have middle school word teasers on top here. We have word teasers origins. We also have word teasers SAT vocabulary. With the holidays approaching, I thought this is a perfect time to stock up on some fun games. As a homeschool mom, I'm always looking for ways to build my children's vocabulary. And so what I did is essentially I just typed in on Amazon vocabulary games for kids. And these popped up and I took a look. I looked through several of the cards and this is exactly what I was looking for. I think these are gonna do a much better job of building vocabulary with my kids than some of the traditional ways of learning vocabulary. I just think these are gonna work better for my kids, but they're also going to be fun because they're games the whole family can play and that we can play with extended family members through the holidays. I have several other uses for my glass gallon jars, and I kind of got to the stage to where I was either going to need to order more or come up with another solution. I like that these plastic containers are BPA free as well as free of the other things that contaminate plastics a lot of times. Since I don't like to put hot goods or hot foods into plastic, I like to use jars for that purpose. And I really needed some more jars for using in the cellar, and then I needed some more jars also just for some of the hot goods like hot soups, especially since we're going into soup season. Okay, I've got the troops with me. We're gonna go into the cellar. I'm gonna get some things to take upstairs now. Okay, where did you, okay, we want, what a mess. Oh, we need to pick our tomatoes. A couple of weeks ago, we picked all of our tomatoes from the garden, all the tomato plants, and we hung them upside down in the cellar here. It looks like we have some red ones that are ready to be picked. Let's take that bucket of hard red wheat upstairs. Let's bring this thing of spelt up. I'm going to order some more of these. Look at that, I can fit 3 in a row and they fit in there just perfectly. Made another big mess. Check it out, you guys. I will say the house is starting to smell just heavenly. I put some chicken in the oven and we're going to have some chicken enchiladas tonight. So I have 3 chickens cooking and I have some rice cooking to go in them. Everything is starting to smell really good. It is definitely going to be at least another 2 weeks before this kitchen is finished and organized, but I'm starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel and I'm looking forward to when it's all done because that means I'll be able to come in and cook meals much more efficiently efficiently than I am or have been able to since we moved in and have been able to lately. This is exceptionally good, just as it is. This would be a great vegetarian enchilada filling. All it really would need is maybe like a cup of probably pecans that are minced up, and this would make a really good vegetarian enchilada filling. It seems like just yesterday that if I was going to do something like enchiladas, it would take me hours upon hours to do. Tonight, I'm gonna have some hungry men to feed. My boys have been chopping wood all day in prep for winter, and my husband has been putting up siding. Since it's a Saturday, the kids have been running wild and free, playing outdoors, watching movies, just having a grand old time. Tonight, I'm gonna make some bruschetta from our garden tomatoes and homemade pasta with carbonara sauce. It's a super cozy day. The sun is shining brightly, beautifully into my kitchen. I have 2 lovely loaves of sourdough bread that turned out so well, and I'm excited to use these for the bruschetta tonight. For the carbonara, I'm going to be using a recipe that I found online. However, I found you have to be kind of careful when you're getting carbonara recipes online because they're not all equal. I personally love lots of garlic in my pasta carbonara, but not all of them have a lot of garlic. For the pasta itself, I'm going to be using a recipe from one of my favorite gluten-free books. I used to think gluten-free pasta was one of the biggest disappointments one could encounter as a gluten-free person. That is, until I found this cookbook and the pasta recipe in this cookbook. I have made the recipe in this cookbook, and the people that I make it for are shocked. They can't believe that it's gluten-free pasta. It does not taste like gluten-free pasta. It is the best pasta. Before I went gluten-free, pasta was my go-to. Pasta was my favorite food, bread and pasta. My favorite gluten-free bread is definitely sourdough gluten-free bread, but this book has the award when it comes to gluten-free pasta. Shot this scene 3 times now because I keep messing it up. My daughter thinks I'm doing it on purpose so that I can keep eating cheese though. Did you guys know that if you break a piece of cheese off and crumble it off like this, I wouldn't use a knife like this, I'd use a fork. But if you break the cheese, it tastes different than if you slice it. This is Parmesan Reggiano. It tastes different. I learned this from a reputable source many years ago, but it's really true. Crumbled cheese tastes different. Already, guys, I've got hungry boys showing up. By the way, if you guys want my bruschetta recipe, it's probably one of my most asked for recipes, so I will link to a video in the cards and also down below. I created a video last summer with my bruschetta recipe for you guys.